right. A cold front is arriving soon, South Carolina, but that's really going to be later into this weekend. The main thing that we're looking at right now is obviously our hot, mostly dry, statewide burn ban conditions. Yes, there is a statewide burn ban that got issued at 7 o'clock this morning, and now officially nobody can burn now, as it is illegal to do so now throughout the state of South Carolina. So all of that we're going to get into. We're going to talk about the cold front. We're going to talk about our cooler week next week and record breaking temperatures as we get into tomorrow. So let's go on now and look at what's currently going on first. If you have not hit the like button yet or the subscribe button, go on and do so. It's free and you can change your mind if you ever do want to. And it's, again, free. Not a single dime. Now, in terms of your current conditions, nothing is going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina. But if we go on and look and see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do in fact have some rainfall with some severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warnings right now. Just a whole bunch of just bad stuff going on right now in terms of severe weather. We have tornado warnings down here near Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Severe thunderstorm warnings going all throughout Oklahoma right now, just to the north and west of Oklahoma City. We have severe thunderstorm warning with tornado warnings going on in Jefferson City, Missouri. We have tornado warnings going throughout Peoria, Illinois. Peoria, Illinois is right in that path of a tornado warning. If you know anybody over there, let them know. And also we have severe thunderstorms, potentially even some tornadic storms about to move towards Chicago as well. So a lot of stuff is ongoing right now. If you know anybody inside of these areas from Milwaukee down through Chicago, down through the rest of Illinois, Springfield, down through St. Louis, Jefferson City, Oklahoma, let them know severe weather might be on the way towards them. Other than that, though, we have some rainfall going on throughout other parts of Texas. We have some snowfall going on inside of Wyoming, Montana. Some rainfall also going on up there, and some snowfall in the North Dakota, northern Minnesota areas. Now for our cloud cover. Cloud cover right now seems to be out of our hair, and we look mostly clear right now. Looking at that cloud cover for the future, we're starting off here at 9 p.m. You go in and push through tonight. We definitely will have some clouds moving in from the west as we move later into tonight, going into early tomorrow morning. Cloud cover continuing to move its way east, and we're not going to have too much cloud cover right behind the system, but there will be potentially some more moving through as we have a clear morning to potentially going into a cloudy afternoon, cloudy evening as we get to here around 6 p.m., going into 8 p.m., 9 10 p.m. as well. And then by the time you get to around 2 a.m., 3, 4, 5 a.m. as well, cloud cover continuing to move its way over into the east here on Sunday. Sunday comes along and look at how cloudy we are, which makes sense. I mean, we have the cold front coming through, and that's going to bring some isolated shower storm chances here and there. So definitely we will see cloud cover moving through. Now, what about for our air quality? Air quality, for the most part, looks like that we are mostly inside of a half and half situation, with some of us being in the good category, some of us being in the moderate. If you're in the yellow, make sure that you are aware for tonight. Make sure that you are paying attention to that air quality just in case if it does increase. And that's really if you're only out for a long period of time tonight. Now, what about for our current temperatures? Right now, seeming like most of us are inside of the lower to mid 70s, maybe even some of us upper 70s, 73, Somerville 70, Charleston 72, Hilton Head Island 72, Conway 71, Myrtle Beach, Georgetown 77 in Columbia, 78 Orangeburg, 79 Hartsville, 73 Greenville, Spartanburg, Gaffney, 76 Clemson, 74 Anderson and Rock Hill. Low temperatures for tonight, we're talking about low temperatures around 61 in Greenville, 63 over there inside of Spartanburg as well. And let me make sure that this is the most up-to-date, so I'm not giving you any old information, which I believe it is around, yeah, they updated it a little bit, but it's still around the same here. As going to tonight, 61 Greenville, 60 Spartanburg, Anderson, as well as Lauren, 64 in Columbia, 63 in Sumter, 60 Kingstree, 66 in Charleston. And so we're seeing that trend of still just seeing 60s maybe some upper 60s here and there, but we're still staying relatively in the 60s. Now, what about for our maximum temperatures for tomorrow, high temperatures? Seeing mostly 90s. 91 in Columbia, 90 Moncks Corner, Florence, Greenwood, 89 in Greenville, 90 in Spartanburg, 89 Rock Hill, 86 in Charleston. So those coastal areas are definitely going to be cooler than the main inland areas, but it's still going to be warm. 83 is still a pretty warm temperature, even though that's probably going to be one of the lowest. Now, if we go on and look at precipitation-wise, we are good. No rainfall is expected, and we can go on and rest easy knowing that tomorrow, if you have any outdoor plans, that you are good to go. You can do yard work tomorrow. It's going to be very hot, but yard work is definitely possible tomorrow. Now for the crazy score. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how active our conditions are throughout the entire state of South Carolina. And for tonight, we're at a 13. Why? Well, no significant weather. We're seeing clear skies right now, maybe some light clouds here and there, but for the most part, mostly clear skies, and temperatures are going to be, obviously a bit mild, but nice. No high winds or anything like that. We're also seeing completely dry conditions. And the only thing that we may have is a little like elevated fire weather concern. Obviously, there is a statewide burn ban in effect, so that does make sense. SPC outlook for tonight: no thunderstorms are expected tonight. Tomorrow, I think this is really for tomorrow, like later, but when we look at this map, we see definitely that the ingredients are still up there and are still possible inside of the very, very far upstate. Now, will rainfall happen with it? Will convection fall with it? Well, I looked at the models, and, models, if they are correct as we get into Saturday night, it does have some rainfall trying to move in around 10 p.m. or so, and we'll get into the models and we'll look at it in depth in just a second. But they do have some showers trying to move through, so the ingredients are there. Will the convection happen? That's the main question. And Sunday, April the 19th, 2026, we do in fact have some thunderstorm activity that is definitely possible here as we go into the low country areas, as we go into the Grand Strand areas, as we go into the eastern PD areas as well. And overall, nothing else too intense, nothing else too active to say here. Fire weather. This is the main thing that people are talking about throughout the state right now. Is this fire weather? There is a statewide burn ban that was put into effect as we go into this morning at 7 a.m. And it's in effect until further notice. When will they lift it? Obviously, I have no idea. But we have it, and so we should definitely still follow it. Don't burn anything outside. Do not burn anything outside, no matter if it is just regular debris from your yard or burning trash or whatever it may be. Doesn't matter. Don't burn it. Now, this is just for tonight. Obviously we have tomorrow as well. Tomorrow probably being the worst day for fire weather, and it's really just because it's so widespread. The entire upstate, all of the Midlands, all of the PD areas. We're talking about the northern part of the low country. The only area that's not really included in this threat for tomorrow is down there inside of maybe like the coastal areas, maybe the kind of not so far inland low country, and also the Grand Strand area. Again, those areas are the only areas not included, but there is still a statewide burn ban in effect. So even if you're not inside of the orange areas, you should still not be burning anything. And if we go on and look at Sunday is no different, just a little bit less. You can see the low country's out of it. Grand Strand is out of it. PD is mostly out of it. Midlands is still a part of it. Same thing with the upstate. For Sunday critical conditions, 40 to a 69% chance. And Monday, we still have another risk, but it's mainly up there again for just a little bit of the northern upstate, Rock Hill, Spartanburg, going on inside of Gaffney on Monday. So dry conditions there. We'll go on and look at the models as well and see what's going on in terms of obviously humidity, because the reason why they have this in effect is just because it's super dry out there. And if we go on and look right here, we go through tonight, look at how dry it's going to be. And then look as we get into tomorrow. This is tomorrow at 1 p.m. We're talking about in the teens for humidity. I mean, that is really, really dry. And even potentially trying to get down more into like the mid-teens, like 17, 16, 15. There goes a 15 right there. Percent. So that's very, 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 very dry. And that's why this main band is here. Now, the cold front's going to try and move through. It's going to move through, and it's going to bring some drier air, some even drier air. I mean, we're seeing, again, 20% humidity, maybe 15% humidity as we go into Sunday. So this burn ban will probably still be in effect, not only through tomorrow, but probably through Sunday, and especially through Sunday, because not only will we have just dry conditions, but also gusty winds will be moving through as well. So I can only just imagine just what's going to happen on Sunday, thinking that that's probably going to be one of the worst days just because of the winds added on to it. Now, what's going on in terms of the excessive rainfall monitor? Obviously, nothing going on here, so we are good. Nothing for the next 5 days. And so let's go and look at the models for the future. So here we go. We're starting off here at 9 o'clock p.m. We go on and push this forward. You're not seeing any rainfall going through tonight, going through tomorrow morning, going through tomorrow afternoon. We're good. It's not until we get to around 10 p.m. that you start to see maybe some rainfall start to move in tomorrow night. We're talking about isolated showers. We're talking about isolated drizzles just going all throughout the upstate, and mainly from like the Oconee counties, Pickens counties, Anderson, Greenville counties as well. Now, as we move into Sunday morning, here around like 5 a.m., you're starting to see a good amount of shower activity. I mean, this is great rainfall right here for the upstate as you go into around 5 to around 7 a.m. on Sunday. That will continue to push its way east, and look at this. I mean, maybe even a little bit in the Midlands, maybe a little bit in the PD areas, but the low country staying dry. Even by 2 p.m., I mean, you may see like a little drizzle here and there, but it's not going to be much. So I think the area that definitely has the least area or the least percentage of seeing a shower probably is actually the Grand Strand. Low country definitely is close though. Midlands, upstate, those areas definitely have a good shot. PD as well. So everybody, let's hope for some rainfall, beneficial rainfall for all of us on Sunday. Because we definitely do need it. And the time frame for that, again, that's probably going to be Saturday night going into Sunday afternoon. Now, if we go on and look at our long-term future, let's go on and check this out. We're going to start off here Sunday as we get into around 2 p.m. And I did just see Maya Lula's comment. She says approximately what is the temperature of the cold front moving in? Well, I mean, we'll talk about temperatures in just a second. We'll talk about temperatures then. But for right now, let's go on and continue this forward in terms of precipitation. Precipitation-wise, I mean, we're still looking at dry conditions. Still looking at dry conditions as we continue throughout most of Sunday. Going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I mean, just staying dry through Thursday, going into Friday. And look as we go into Saturday, look as we go into Sunday of next weekend, not this weekend, not like tomorrow and Sunday, but next weekend. We're talking about more rainfall trying to move its way through here at 5 p.m. on Saturday. And then it's going to continue to move its way through. Sunday comes along, we still have some rainfall here and there, but for the most part, it's still going to be mostly dry. Now, I've seen some models coming out, and I've seen some people talking about it, but a lot of people believe that after we get into, not next week, but the week after next week, people think that we are going to get more active. And, you're already kind of seeing it here a little bit. I mean, we definitely have, look how much rainfall this is trying to move through. I do agree. I do agree with them. I mean, I think that after next week, I think that we're really going to see our rain chances increase a lot more. So I think we just got to get through this weekend, get through next week, get through, like that Friday there. But then once we get to Saturday, Sunday of next weekend, I think that we are going to see a huge increase in terms of this rainfall. I mean, and you're already seeing it again, Tuesday, 8 p.m., rainfall moving through. Now, 8 p.m., that's just the time frame that it has. I'm not saying it's going to be at 8 p.m., But you definitely can see a good amount of rainfall moving through. Then by the time you get to around Saturday, Sunday of this is the next weekend after that, you're still seeing some rainfall here and there. So relief definitely is on the way. Relief definitely is on the way for this rainfall. Not yet, though. We just got to wait about like another week or so. Now, what about if we go on and look at the actual just totals in general? We're going to go in and look at that total QPF. I mean, we're looking at totals right now. If we go in and go throughout the next 300 hours or so, you're seeing around 2 inches over here near Sumter, Florence, inch and a half near Columbia, inch in Greenville. Now, obviously these are good numbers, but this isn't going to be enough to necessarily take down the drought completely. And some areas may not even see around a half an inch. So again, this is not going to take out the drought completely. This, we're going to have to see this thing start to tick down more and more and more. Now, what about for our ensembles? Ensembles, they show us what's going on in terms of the members and all 51 members kind of put together. And if I go in and check that out, the total QPF mean, right now it has us around a good inch for everybody. So like I said, I do think that as we get more and more into not next week, but the week after, this precipitation is going to continue to jack up more and more and more. Now, what about for our temperatures? Temperatures are going to stay mostly warm as we continue throughout the rest of this weekend, but as we get into Sunday afternoon, that's when things start to take a little bit of a change here, and we had a question about the temperatures as well. Seems like the cold front's going to try and move in as you go into around 5 to 8 a.m. on Sunday, going throughout the upstate, going throughout the Midlands, the PD areas around late morning, going throughout the low country and the Grand Strand areas during like the early to more mid-afternoon. And so that's when we will start to see that cold front and those colder temperatures start to move through. We get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. We're seeing way cooler temperatures, but don't worry, warmer temperatures are coming back. We're talking about temperatures 10 degrees above average as we get into Thursday. And then as we get into Friday, temperatures again getting back up more and more and more. So don't worry, if you are a warm weather fan, temperatures will be rising back up, especially as we get into the middle parts of next week. Now, as we get into the week after, obviously we talked about all of that rainfall trying to move its way in. Maybe some cold air with it. I mean, here we go, Monday, April the 27th. We're looking at some cold air here and there trying to move its way through. I mean, we may even see some 20 to 30 degree below average temperatures. So definitely a cooler pattern maybe trying to set up as we go into the late parts of April. Which does also make sense. Because some of those models did show a cooler and a wetter period. Now, as we move into this weekend in terms of actual temperatures, we're looking at temperatures again 90 degrees or so as we get into tomorrow. Sunday comes along, our temperatures are going to rise up to around the 80s near the coastal areas, but everybody else going to be in the 70s. Then once those temperatures move through, we're talking about temperatures down into the 40s. Yes, 40s, maybe some 50s here or there, but for the most part, I should say, high 40s, low 50s. Now, as we get into Monday, going into Tuesday of next week, 70s, nothing 80s related. You get into Wednesday, we're talking about temperatures back up into the 80s again. And then by the time we get to Thursday, going into Friday, temperatures now 90, getting close towards, statewide 90s or so. Sunday comes along, and then, we still see some more temperatures getting in here and there into the 80s, but remember, I said maybe some cooler air trying to move through as we get into the end parts of April, into the early parts of May. Well, that's why you're seeing some high temperatures only getting up to around like the high 60s. And that's all that I have to say here in terms of the deterministic models. What about the ensembles real quick? I just want to check and see what's going on in terms of the mean. 200 hours out or so. Ensembles believe that we will be actually pretty warm by the time we get into not next week but the week after. Thinks that we're going to be warm, and then as we go all the way through, kind of has us cooling down a little bit as we go into early parts of May. So cool down start off May is definitely in the equation. Definitely is in the equation. And that's all that I can see here throughout the entire state for our temperatures. So that's going to wrap that up. Let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. let's go on and see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Maya Lou was here first tonight. She says, "Good evening, everyone. I pray that everyone had a marvelous day. Thank you so much for that. Today in Georgetown, our high was around 86. Heat index was 91. Currently, it's around 73 degrees. Well, thank you so much for that weather report for where you are over there inside of Georgetown. Now, at my house, it was around a good 70. Well, right now it's 72. And then our high temperature for today was around 88. Then Mr. Chris says, "Good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day. Got to around 89 degrees here in Moncks Corner, and currently it's 79. I did not catch the heat index, but it was hot. I caught like a little glimpse of it at around, I think around like 4 or 5 o'clock ish or so at my house. I think it was around 88 or so. That was my heat index where I was. My Nana says, "Hi, Jay, and all. No outside time today." Well, it was a hot one today, so at least you were able to stay inside and stay cool. Welcome to the weekend. Oh, I totally forgot about that and bombed that. Hold on, let me go in and get that saved up. Here we go. We have made it all the way. We have made it all the way to Friday evening. So let's go on now and give ourselves a round of applause for making it throughout the work week. Thank you so much for reminding me about that. That says, "Good evening, just from the 360 Weather family. I trust all is well with everyone. It was a beautiful day today in San Antonio. The sun was shining and it was extremely nice." Maya Lewis says, "Today in Georgetown was beautiful, not a cloud in the sky." Mr. Chris says, "Thank God I got all my yard work done today before it got too hot." That says, "We planted some more peppers and squash today. We are hoping for a bountiful harvest this year." Yes, sir, we definitely have to get out there and beat the heat. We got up to 87 degrees, very comfortable weather. Well, thank you so much for that weather report where you are. Maya Lewis says, "Hopefully we'll get some rainfall." Not yet, but we will be starting to see an increase soon. Trail says, "Happy new moon." Same to you. Continue our way down. Please let it rain. Yes, something is better than nothing. And then that's it. So let's go on now and talk about the 4 areas outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 areas outside of South Carolina? What am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in almost nightly, we go on and give them their forecast for them. So starting off with San Antonio first, you have low temperatures tonight at around 68, high temperature for tomorrow at 74, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 56. No precipitation tonight, but tomorrow, chance of thunderstorms, and tomorrow night showers are likely. It's also going to be a bit breezy as you get into tomorrow as well. You're talking about wind gusts of up to 20, 30 miles per hour or so tomorrow. Now, in terms of your severe weather, in terms of your excessive rainfall, looks like right now that you are in the clear for day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, even though you're really close to 1 on day 4, but you're just out of it, just outside. So we'll be monitoring Monday, maybe for some isolated flash flooding. Now, what about for your future? For your future, it does look like that you will continue to kind of just stay lower, not go into like the 80s, not go into up into the 90s. I mean, the next time you're going to see some 80s and 90s is probably going to be next week, Thursday. So you have a good little bit to go before you get back up into the 80s again. And we're talking about high temperatures in the 60s as well. I mean, cold front moves through tomorrow through Saturday. Same cold front that's going to move through down here inside of South Carolina on Sunday. It's going to move through for you on Saturday, tomorrow. And your temperatures are actually going to be kind of interesting, kind of weird, because it's actually going to be hotter during the morning time than it is inside of the nighttime. So, or not the nighttime, but the afternoon, excuse me. So you're going to be at around 74 degrees by around 10 a.m., but then once you get to around 4 p.m., it's going to fall to around 63. So your temperatures are going to be dropping as the day progresses tomorrow. Activity-wise, you're going to continue to stay really active, as you go into the rest of the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, going into Wednesday, Friday, continuing to stay active. Then for Raleigh, you have low temperatures tonight at 63, high temperature for tomorrow at 93, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 66. Precipitation not expected until around Sunday. You have a 50% chance of rainfall there. And then in terms of your severe weather, in terms of your excessive rainfall, that's not really expected. The only thing for you seems to be just some fire weather. Seems to be just some fire weather for you. That is for, obviously, tonight, tomorrow, and then maybe Sunday, but Monday for sure. I don't know about the ban status in North Carolina. They probably do have one, but I don't know about all I know about is just South Carolina's. For your future, you're going to continue to kind of just stay down. You'll be around 93 on Saturday, but then Sunday, 75, 70 on Monday, 71 on Tuesday, and then you're going to rise up to around 80 as you get into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday or so. Now, in terms of Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 57, high temperature for tomorrow at 69, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at around 49. Precipitation, not really expected until possibly tomorrow night, where you have a 50% chance of showers here and there. And temperature-wise, you're going to continue to kind of just stay low. I mean, you're going to have high temperatures down into the 50s, but then you'll rise back up into the 70s as you get into next week. In terms of your rainfall, it's going to be a pretty active weekend for you, and then severe weather, excessive rainfall, that's not expected. Then finally for Duncan, low temperatures tonight at 47, high temperature for tomorrow at 66, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 40. Definitely the most active area because severe thunderstorms are expected there as you go into tonight. As you have severe weather kind of circling your area. If I go over to you right now, you're not in it yet, but there are some severe thunderstorms to your north. We'll see if it even reaches down towards you. Right now, it's looking like you're in the clear, but you're not in a tornado watch. You're not in a severe thunderstorm watch, so right now you're good. Let's hope that it stays that way. In terms of your severe weather, past today, I think that's pretty much it. No fire weather either. So once you're done with today, which right now you have a 2% chance of tornadoes, 15% chance of damaging winds, and a 15% chance of damaging hail. So definitely a big downtrend from what we saw last night. Excessive rainfall is still there. Isolated flash flooding possible tonight, but that's it. And then for your future afterwards, after tonight, you're going to continue to kind of just stay dry as you go all the way through into next week. Maybe Thursday night you might see some rainfall here and there, but it's still going to be nice and dry next week. And I think that's about all that I have to say here. So let's go on now and talk about the entire U.S. weather news-wise. Well, right now it does seem like a round of severe thunderstorms are forecasted, or is forecasted, to go across areas of the Southern Plains, Mississippi Valley, and the Great Lakes this afternoon and tonight. The threat for flash flooding will also accompany these storms. The rainfall for the Great Lakes region could prolong the ongoing flooding. Where the rain is needed, the Southern High Plains, critical fire weather conditions continue throughout today. So a lot of things going on, but I do believe that we're going to continue to stay active. We're going to continue to potentially see more severe weather. Even though for right now, it does seem definitely not as big. But tomorrow we have another slight risk up there for Ohio, for parts of Pennsylvania, for parts of West Virginia. But right now we're kind of just staying there. Everything else seems fine. And that's all I have to say here. So let's go on now and end this off. I don't see anything else outside of the chat for me. So let's go on and talk about the top fans of the night for tonight. I'm going to count these up real quick. I see around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I see 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then down here I see around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Mr. Chris did win it for tonight. Not Mr. Chris, excuse me. My Aunt Lula won it for tonight. Mr. Chris got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so Mr. Chris got number 2, and then Thad got number 3. So congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock. Joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m., being here early, being active, and being a subscriber. Because if you are a subscriber, or if you're not a subscriber, I should say, you won't be able to type. So let's go on and give them 3 a round of applause. And that's all I can see here. I don't think I have any emails for tonight either. No, I sure do not. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with your Saturday morning forecast update. Also tomorrow evening for your Saturday evening forecast update as well. Make sure you're here Sunday evening. We're going to be talking about next week's forecast then. It last full week of April. And that's it. Make sure you go and hit those two buttons before you leave. Hit the subscribe button, like button, share button. We're at 728 trying to get to 800.